Well, hello, Siren. I suppose I will transition over. There we go. That's better. Ringmaster Ray, how was your son's event? I hope it was well. My dog is behind me being crazy. Still can't hear me. Still? It shows audio. Hold on. Properties. What is it? Device. Oh. There. How's that? Is that better? it my Streamlabs my Streamlabs defaulted to another microphone that's not plugged in somehow. So I apologize for that. How was your son's event, Ringmaster? Was it choir or chorus? Um, I can't remember which one it was, but I know it was singing of some kind, if I remember correctly. So how'd that go? Um, as I was saying, when you guys couldn't hear me, Coin Around is on live, and they're doing roll hunts. And RFT's streaming at the same time, so I don't expect a lot of people in here. So it's fun. Yeah, and that's work. I just wrapped up a meeting. Um, it went well. Uh, Complaints, the night shift, the day shift, that battle's always going to go on. It doesn't matter what industry you're talking about or where. Um, it's just always, a blame game, which is fine. Sometimes blame needs to be placed, but man, oh man, uh, just people sometimes they can pull the life out of you. Um, but anyway, I have a few rolls of nickels here left. I will tell you guys, I had some $50, and I couldn't contain my excitement. It wasn't much, but it came from my bank. They told me it was a lot like the last time I got rolls. Because I went in, they had mint. I don't know, this is not necessarily the mint, but it's some kind of official thing for the dollars. They come in these rolls where it's all the same. So I call these a mint wrapped roll. They're not officially, I don't think, but you get my drift. So they had this Andrew Jackson on this one, and they had some rolls, and you can see they're already marked. They even had one of the big boys, which got me really excited because these are a lot more rare, especially today. And so I couldn't contain my excitement. I had some time earlier. I went through them. Nada. Nothing. But I do have some nickels and things that I've been going through here off and on. I went up on Key's stream earlier to try to offload a couple things. Well, not offload, just offer. I mean, sometimes I see stuff and I know it's not normal, so I'll pick it up because I figure someone out there may want it eventually, and if not, I will for sure hold it. I feel like silver is, and numismatics therein, those of the silver variety, are going to go up in value in the next year or so with the economy taking its turn, hopefully. And so I was offering a couple things up, nothing crazy. A set, which is, God, I really got to get more organized. I have silver everywhere. So I offered up a set of war nickels in a capital holder. And the holder's seen some better days, but the nickels look alright. And so it's hard to kind of accumulate those. Trust me, I've been going through nickel rolls. I still have yet to find a single war nickel somehow. And then I also had this pretty thing. It's not going to focus right for you, and I apologize, but it's a 1904, what I'm calling a set. It's not a mint set because, of course, they didn't exist, I don't believe, at this time. But the key here is these are all P's up to the quarter, and then the half is a 1904 O, and then the dollar is a 1904 S. I'm told, and if I verified my information correctly, these are more valuable than they would be if they were Philadelphia, which stands to reason, but the point is there. So I found this at a shop in Warsaw. Hold on, I will, if anyone is actually in the area, which I doubt, I will shout her out, because it's a shop like I probably would run if I ran one. It looks a little disorganized, but that's great because there's stuff packed everywhere. It was Snyder's Coin and Jewelry in Warsaw, Indiana. And so I went in there and I was asking them and talking to them about like what interesting or odd stuff they had. And she brought this up. And so I was able to pick it up. Now, I don't know a lot about grading, but if I were to grade these coins, these two, the dollar and the half, based on the general information that I'm seeing, they would more than pay for the whole set, because I feel like in the condition and the grades that they're probably going to get, on the lower scale, probably like a fine 12, I think, for the half, and on the dollar, probably a little better. But with the grades they would get and the values they would have, theoretically, it would more than cover the cost of the entire set. So, I got that, and I offered that up for $175. Nobody took me on it, which is fine. It's not something that I'd specifically want to get rid of, but if somebody else wants it more than me, I'm not really into the barbers or the old sets or any of that. You guys know me, if I see value sitting there, and she had said it had been there for a while, nobody had picked it up, which means, I'm not saying they don't have any big collectors, but obviously, if no one's picked that up, and it's just been sitting there, that's not something you see every day, a full set of 1904s, and none of them are in, well, the V-nickels in probably the worst shape of all of them, but that's easy to fix. You know, that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. The other coins are what's important. And the dime is in the best shape out of all of them. Yeah, I'd say so. Especially on the reverse. But yeah, anyhow, I offered those things up earlier, just kind of test the market. It was a slow night. She was about to wrap it up. I figured I'd hop on and see. Nothing happened. Much luck finding silver locally. Is that sarcasm? coin junkie? Is that what I'm sensing there? Because I will say this. I stopped into my... We're going to just start calling him a bullion dealer, I think, to keep it simple. So I stopped into my bullion dealer earlier, and he didn't have... He had... What did he have? Like 7 or 8 rounds. Silver rounds. Ooh, you're old. What are you? 46p. We will see if we need that in the book. We'll set that aside. And he had about 7 or 8 rounds. And I asked him. Now, granted, I'm a hard ass on the prices a little bit. But I asked him. I said, "Well, what are they at?" And he goes, $28. And I said, Didn't we drop a little bit? Like, aren't we closer to like the low 22s? And he goes, "Yeah, but I got 200 ounces over the weekend." I think he said on Saturday. And the 7 or whatever that he had sitting in the case was all that he had left. And he said he had sold them all at $28 and they got snatched up. So, and I told him that. I said, I'm not arguing your price. I'm not saying 28's not a good deal. I just, prices slip a bit. You would expect, hopefully, that would translate. But I'm not saying 28's a bad deal. I said I've bought silver at $30 an ounce in the recent past. I'm not saying that. I was just curious, as to, like, why you're at 28. He says, because it's flying off the shelves at 28. So... yeah, it's not impossible, but even that Snyder's Coins and Jewelry, they had some Silvertown stuff, obviously being Indiana, for, Silvertown. Actually, their prices were better than the prices offered at Silvertown, if you believe that, and you should, because I'm telling you. It was just, it's I don't know how that works, but they were lower. And so I picked up from them some Prestige sets, that 1904 set, the War Nickels, some other stuff. I also, I'm not going to be able to do this thing justice, but we'll try. Where did my coin scope go? I see it here, but it's not active. Let me switch over. Oh, it's not. Why is it not active? Hold on. Properties. Digital microscope. Oh, did it? Oh, somehow it. Okay. We won't question it. We'll just run with it. CoinCam Large is working now. Okay. So now, why? Why? YouTube messaging me about something. So I'm not going to be able to do this coin justice with this. It's now in a flip, and you will see why shortly. I got a Columbian Expo, and this thing is uncirculated completely. And this was a different shop though. It was in this guy, he had a section of what he called commemorative halves, and I was about to leave the store, and I just remembered seeing it, and I'm like, wait, no, hold on, let me look through there, and he even told me. He's like, there's nothing in there, it's just some modern stuff, and da-da-da. And I start going through it, and I start pulling out Columbian Expos, like, left and right, and, the normal ones that we see, and then I saw this one. It's got beautiful blue toning around the rim on both sides. It's got, if there's wear on this coin, I'm having a hard time seeing it. I've looked it up and down a whole bunch. I know the light's not being super friendly to it because it's in the flip, but you kind of see it, that blue toning around the edge. The only question I might have is the center of the sails. Let me see if I can come down a bit. The center of the sails, at least from afar, look like they're, I don't know if it's the light hitting it and that's the problem, like, the visual. But when you get in on it, they're there, like full. I'm talking about the lines and the sails here, in the center. But like when you're holding the coin, I guess it's probably just the light, because if you hold it right, you see them fine, but they don't pop out at you the way maybe some of the others do, but they're there. And so it's uncirculated. I bought this thing for $45, which is somewhere in between. That's like the low mint state kind of pricing, somewhere around, I don't know, 60, 61, somewhere in there. And I gladly paid that. But I've never submitted to like PCGS or anybody, NGC, ANAX, but I'm thinking about it on this one for sure. I guess typically you don't send in just one coin, but if you look, and we can go over, and I know like it's impossible for you to, I got YouTube up. Let me go here. Metals, PCGS. We'll go to our buddy. Here we'll just type in. Okay, so I'm knocking over the nickel rolls. So there's the MS and there's the proof. That's the 1893. We're looking at this one, 1892. So was it? Okay. Sorry. Sometimes I did get some settings better on the website. So this is an MS68. And so from what I can tell, like I have all the hair detail, I have all the ship detail, the sails, and if you look on theirs, right there, like at the top, it's more defined. Right there, you see those lines, and then right in the center there, right in the same kind of spot my coin is, there's some, I don't care what you say, there's some loss of definition there. They're still there, but there's some loss of definition there in the center sail. But you see the similar toning. I know toning doesn't matter, but it's got that same kind of feel going on, that light blue toning around the coin. That's an MS68. Now, is mine that? Undoubtedly, probably not, because from what I can tell, if we scroll down here, in the 68, there is one known at that grade. There's 14 at 67 plus, 41 at 67, and the numbers go. 66, there's a bunch. But look at these values. If I paid, right, let's just say, I'm down here. 61. Okay, so 61's $40. So I paid somewhere between 61 and 62 prices, you could say, for this coin. If I send this thing in, now, if I lose out, and it grades low, maybe I get a 60, chalk it up, right? Worse has happened to most people. But if by some miracle of a chance I get like a 64 or a 65, or God forbid it's actually good enough to catch 65 plus or 66 by a miracle, I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference in the coins. I went back and looked through some of them and kind of looked at a 61, and we could do that. My coin is arguably better looking than a 61. It's got a long list of pictures here. But if you didn't know you could do this, you can. Wait, here's 55, 58. Okay, so it goes from 58 plus to 63, if this ever loads up. So here's the 58 pluses. Most of the detail, everything's there. I'd almost argue on this 63 here, that the sails look better than that 68. But that's just me. But like, here's the 58. The sails worn. You can see he's worn. There's scratches, small scratches, but still scratches in the fields. There's just a lot of stuff on these that I don't see on this coin. So, I think I might actually, I'm not doing anything with it right now, but I'm probably going to hold this one. Let me end this and get back to you guys. Main. I'm probably going to send this one in. I can put it up on the larger coin cam so you can see. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was being selfish. So, if you look around, and I know I'm not fully adjusted, but, and it is in a flip, so you got to take that into account on some of the reflection you get, but there's no scratches in the fields. All the detail is there on his hair. No big marks on the face. You go to the reverse. You know, beautiful toning and luster on the areas that still have it. If you look at my sales now that you kind of got this better picture, I mean, they're there. I don't see any large reason why I shouldn't gamble on this coin and send it in. No, I haven't, Jason. I've watched a couple videos on it. I'll have to build up some other stuff, most likely, or like start a membership and then do, you know, a couple submissions or something. I'll have to figure that out. But as I'm told, and as my research goes, at least in the current market, sending anything to anybody but PCGS is just basically robbing yourself. If you have something truly nice. If it's like a run-of-the-mill, like a Modern Proof or something like that, then yeah, you can send it to almost anybody and get something out of it. But from my knowledge, NGC's more world coins known for being really good at that. But NGC in the same grade doesn't command the same value as a PCGS slab currently. So I'm probably going to figure that out. I'm going to hold this and keep it safe. I've checked the edges. I've checked the reading. I don't see any large reasons not to. So that I picked up, and this just goes to show you. And again, I'm no numismatist, but when you're out shopping, especially if you're somewhere new, like I was, traveling or going around to a new shop, take your time if you have it and look at everything, because the guy literally was like, there's nothing in there. And then I started pulling out Columbian Expos left and right, and he's like, oh, well, yeah, I guess there's a couple of those in there. And I looked at this and I asked him, I said, do you not send stuff out for grading? And he's like, no, yeah, I send stuff out. I was like, you didn't think to send this out? And he's like, you can't send everything. I'm like, okay, cool. You gonna sell it to me? He wanted 50. I talked him down to 45. So that was nice. I need a better place to put that. And I got a bunch of other stuff too. I got a Walker, a 43, nothing too special. Those prestige sets. So, I didn't know this. This is fun. To just... So, if anybody wants to rob me, just know that I put all this stuff up. But sometimes I keep it out when I'm doing things like this. But normally it all gets put up. So, I didn't know these existed. And now it makes sense, COAs. These are these prestige sets. This is a 1987, and the thing I like about it is it's a display piece. So it's like a velvet book, like you see a lot of the things have the eagle on them. It's from the mint, and it's got the constitutional 90%er up there, the $1. I don't know if those are technically commemoratives or what they're called, but it's like its own little proof set with that, and it says $35. We will just know that I did not pay $35. But the cool thing I thought about this was I was like, oh, that's cool. But then I realized that the back flips too, and you can easily see the reverse, which is a nice forethought. So you get a case. It looks like a book. You can kind of set them on a shelf or something and pick them off at your leisure and kind of look at them. I mean, I get it. Like, oh, Jesus, here I am. Somebody, yeah, tell me we can't see anything. I forgot to move the screen over. First ever live stream. Give me a break. Right? You believe me? But, as I was saying 5 minutes ago, we'll run through again. It's a book. And so it's from the mint. And then it has all the coins inside of it. It's got this one's the Constitution commemorative. That's 90%. And then all these are silver, of course. But it's got the back that flips open too, so you can actually see the reverse. And then, so, like, it's a nice display piece. I've told myself I'm going to build some shelves and get some better things up so I can put some of this smaller stuff out. But I got this one, and I got one. This is an 86, I think. And I got the 87 as well, which is, I think it's the something Congress, Constitutional Congress. I gotta find the other one. I don't know where. I know where I put it. It's right here. So here's the other one. 1989. And so this one's like a brown. And the velvet's in a lot better shape on this one. It feels like a different material though. This one feels more like microfiber, where the other one felt like shag carpet, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's got... Come on, there you go. It's like an Indian, Native American, and I can't tell what the design is behind it. It's like clouds and sun rays, and it's got the bicentennial half in here with it too. That was one of the other reasons why I wanted it. So you get the Kennedy and the bicentennial Congress and the dollar. So it's a nice set. And again, oh God. What the fuck? Sorry. I hit transition, I swear. I see it now. Yeah, but now you can see something. It's these. And the problem is I was looking at two screens and I see me on one, the live feed. So I thought I was showing you. But this is it. It's got the dollar, the Kennedy half, the Congress half, and all the other coins in it. So they're like a book. And you can display them easily now that 7 people have watched me yammer and look at my coin scope showing nothing for all of 7 minutes. I got that stuff. I got another Columbian Expo. Not in anywhere near as good a shape. But I figured since I was buying one, I would buy more. Because he had them. So I got one of those. It's tucked away. It's actually, I picked one up in like a flip kind of thing. A while back, and it's that same thing, but here's the weird thing. Where did I put those? I gotta get a better system of organization, but they're the same, like the printing's the same, but like the wording's different, so I don't know if they made those for like a bunch of people, but I got 2 mint wrapped 64 Kennedys. That was fun. Couple of quarters, nothing major there. Here is what I missed showing you before. So I got that prestige set. Come on, camera, you can do it. Do it. Do it. That might be the best you get. So you kind of see it there, We the People. It's got the Declaration in the back. It's a $1 coin. This is what's in that other prestige set at the top of it with the other coins. Now that one only has the 1/2 in it, but this one I saw this first at one shop and bought it, and then I found the prestige sets at another. I guess I do have the coin scope, so you can kind of see. It's this. It ain't gonna fit on here because this is, I feel, bigger than a Morgan, but we'll get most of it in here if it wants to cooperate. So yeah, that guy. 200th anniversary of the Constitution. That one. And so I got that. That's also, I have another one in the Prestige set. Also got this. A little Pan American. Half ounce. Like, Prospector. I don't know that it says Prospector. What's that say on the bottom? Northwest Territorial Mint. 1/2 troy ounce. So, it kind of looks like he's working with some mining tools. I'm no expert. It's either a telescope or it's some kind of mining tool. But I saw this. I know it's old. And I got this for, whatever his price for a 1/2 ounce round was. I mean, this was just in the regular, bullion bin. So I picked that up too. Couple other things, nothing major, but that's what I like when I go around and I actually have time to travel. Going and seeing like different stores, and I'm probably gonna do a video on this, but I got mildly upset with one store. So the one guy, the guy I got the Expo from, he was fair, okay? So I went in there and I said, I had all those coins from my coin roll hunt, and I was going to go through them. I had all the intentions of it. But I decided I'd go look at these coin shops on my way home and see if I found anything. I stopped at one, and he was nice. That's where I found the Expo. And I said, okay, so if I pay you in coins, is that going to be a problem? And he's, the questions get asked. And I said, no, like I have some boxes. They're all rolled up, blah, 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 but I have hundreds of dollars in coins, halves and dollar coins and whatnot. It's as little as it can be. But, there's some weight there. So I said, would that be a problem? And he goes, no. I'd rather not. Like, can we just do a card? And I was like, I'd do a card, but you're going to charge me the 3.5% or whatever. And that's why I'm offering up the cash that I have. And he said, I tell you what. And this was a really clean shop. Mostly seemed like a jewelry shop, but he had a lot of coin and other stuff too. It was, probably about a half and half. But he was like, I tell you what, if you we use the card, I will not charge you the 3.5%. So he was good about it. But then, shortly later, I was driving and I found another place to stop. And I will not name them. I'm going to go all Silver Seeker on you, but I will not name them. But I went somewhere else because I'm seeing in there in a bad part of town. Like, they got the, buzz me in and all that stuff. And, I was driving there, when you just realize you're not in the right part of town. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. But I went. And so I go, and I get buzzed in, and it's a big shop. Big shop. Like, the shop I wish was around the corner from me all the time. And so I'm looking around, I'm talking to them. They had a typeset Dansko book. And as we know, there's nothing inherently special in there. Somebody's just trying to build a typeset. I see it's missing a couple coins. I want to say a bronze penny, don't quote me. But I want to say a bronze penny. And something else. But whatever they weren't super high dollar, and it wouldn't cost me an arm and a leg to get them. Kind of finish the set. But everything else was in there. An eagle and halves and dollars and the whole bit. And so I'm like, all right, and we're talking. And he says, well, this thing's been sitting for a while, da da da, because I'm asking him, okay, what would you let it go for? And I love these guys because they get stuff, they put it in their case, and they never price it. I don't know what they're doing all day. And I'm not telling anyone how to run their business, but if it's been sitting there for quote unquote a while and you haven't determined what you need out of it, that seems odd to me. Especially something bigger like that, like a book that's complex and has multiple coins in it. But I allowed him the time to go over and run calculations on every coin and figure out what price he wanted. And he said he would be at, God, it was something about 200. But then he said he would drop it to 175 today if I would just take it and get it off his hands. And I'm like, okay. And so then, of course, since the last guy didn't take my coins, the question came up again. And I said, you know, do you mind if I pay you in coins? This guy was vehemently against it. And I'm like, no. You're like, yeah, it's almost $100 in dollar coins, just a few dollars off, because I found those two special dollar coins. Well, they're sitting right here, but yeah. I found those, so it's like $98 in dollar coins. And then he would have had like $75 or tax or whatever in halves. Not that bad as far as anyone paying you in change, right? Refused to the point to like we were kind of going back and forth, and I'm like, but like, hey man, like, do you take cards then? No cards, just cash. Okay, I have cash. It's rolled coin. I'm not taking that. I got coins everywhere. I'm like, I'm not giving you the coins to resell. I'm giving them to you as currency. Like, and I looked at him at one point, and I said, like, man, they're U.S. currency. Don't you have to take them? And this is a coin shop. So let's run that back. I would expect to get this kind of heat at McDonald's or somewhere else. But at a coin shop, would not take them. Refused. I don't have to take them. I'm not dealing with that. If you can't pay me cash or go get cash or whatever. I said, dude, I'm from out of state. I leave your parking lot, I'm gone. Like, I'm not saying I'll never come back, but I'm not coming back now. I'm on my way home. I'm going. This is a pit stop. Refused to take my my coins, so I left without the set. Maybe I caught him on a bad day. You know, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was something like that, but I was kind of stunned. And I get it, you know, it's coins. I know it's a pain and it's heavy, but apparently he didn't need that sale enough. But, and here's the other thing. He was willing to mark that down. Like I said, I think he was somewhere around 200, if I remember. Again, I did, like, from me entering the store to leaving the store was like 10 minutes, maybe. So it was kind of a whirlwind. But he was willing to mark it down from 200 to 175. Let's run this economic situation for a second. But he won't take credit cards because he's not paying the 3% or what. I'm not giving money to the credit card companies. Fine. Problem is, you're not. You pass that on to your customer if they're not paying cash. So he was willing to come down, what is that, like 12, 13% on his price to $175 on the trade set, but refused to even deal with the prospect of a 3% charge. So if I could have just used my card, there's a chance. If I'd given the option, I would have thought about it, paying just $200 for the set and walking out the door, since I didn't have cash that he would accept. That would have been an option, but I don't get that, man. I really, in a coin shop, you won't take coins. But you're trying to convince everybody that these are valuable and they're worth keeping and all that. But, like, or what if it was a kid? You know, like, yeah, me, okay, I'm some jerk bringing you coins, whatever. But what if it was a kid trying to buy an ounce of silver and all he had was change? You gonna send him away because he's got change and you don't want to do? I don't know. It just rubbed me kind of the wrong way a little bit. I kind of give him some understanding, but at the same time, I really don't. You don't want to take cards, but you won't take cash in coin. I don't know. So anyway, that was my fun, and I got to stop at, on my way home briefly, 3 decent shops of different varieties. And there's actually, if I go back up there again, there's another one that I saw down the street from one of the other nicer ones where I spent more time. And so I'll probably try to stop by there again, or well, that next time, and see what's going on with them, because I'm up in that area occasionally. It's just nice to see different shops. I will say, I saw a shop that was gonna probably be like what mine would look like if I ever started one. It looked like a coin explosion went off. Like I was off in the back knocking dust off of like bins and things and bags, and I'm like looking at them. I'm like, what? I'd hold this bag up, giant bag, Ziploc bag of change, and I'm like, what is this? And they're like, oh, that's all foreign stuff. None of that's worth anything. And I'm thinking in my head, like, if it's not worth anything, how many dollars is it gonna take for me to walk out the door with this bag? I didn't, because it seemed like they were mildly pack ratting. Like there was just literally stuff everywhere, and so I tried to go through that as best I could, but they had piles. The guy, when I went in, it was a lady and a man, and the guy sitting there with a scope, like a real scope, like microscope status from the 70s or something, and he's looking at coins for errors, but he's going through those, and he's got the biggest Ziploc bag I've seen. Like people say Constitutional's hard to find right now, or silver in general. Not there. They had this, it must have been like this tall and like this wide. I mean, it's bigger than a coffee can full. And it's just this big, thick, like, bigger than a gallon Ziploc bag. There's this giant thing filled all the way. I looked at it. Silver quarters. Just filled, just sitting on their counter. And I'm like, that's why I bought 2. Like, I was running through and I had like a few extra bucks or whatever, and I'm just like, throw me 2 silver quarters, I guess, then. And pulled them out. But people have it, whether or not they're going to sell it to you. But it's out there. You just got to find it. And that 1904, we'll call it a set. I'm not going to call it a mint set, but we'll call it a set. That 1904 set. She said she had been sitting on it for a while. Nobody had decided to pick it up. And she wasn't offering a bad price for it, given the condition of the coins, especially the 2 big ones. And so I immediately picked it up. I saw the value there. And even if, right now the grades aren't super high, what's the worst that happens? I hold on to it, maybe sell it back and break even or lose a couple of bucks. I'll get to take some pictures and do an Instagram post on it and whatever else, and then I'll set it free again, catch and release. But then I can say at some point, oh yeah, I've had one of those. I had a 1904 set. I don't know. So Jason chimes in and says, I think that's ridiculous. Also places that refuse to take a $100 bill. Same difference. If you are running a business, you should have to take any lead. I agree. Like, we don't want the digital dollar, and we don't want these CBDCs that are coming. But then people do stuff like that, especially somewhere like a coin shop, where, in their opinion, and they had gold and silver and bullion and all that stuff too. It wasn't just a coin shop. I think coin shop is synonymous with bullion dealer. And so, what's this warning? Oh, my camera control came up. That's weird. And so they talk that game, and they know, and they tell their customers that, oh, you got to move your money out of fiat and into precious metals or coins or collectibles, something with, intrinsic value. But then you want to do something like that. Now, I know, I get it. I'm from out of town. It was the first time he saw me. Whatever. But it was only $175. 98 in dollar coins. I mean, and they're in rolls. Like, I don't know how else I could have made it easier for him. But this is how it is. I mean, sometimes you run into that. Now, I will say, not that my business is going to make or break him, and I'm not going to, go online and leave a scathing review, because, for all I know, he just got some bad news, or he was having a bad day, whatever. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay. But I probably am not going to go back there again. Well, yeah, I can't say that. I probably will go back there again. If I'm ever through there, because it was a really big shop, and he did have a lot of really nice stuff. Actually, if anybody remembers, Big Flip offered up, I think it was last weekend on Trade Day, Early Bird Trade Day. He offered up three-piece Eagle, 20th anniversary set, the proof, the reverse proof, and I think it's just a regular one. This guy had one of those, and I asked him what the price would be on it, because obviously I had just been offered one, in way of the auction, and had decided not to purchase it. And so, or was it Early Bird or was it Flip Saturday night? I don't know, because he was slightly off schedule. But anyway, you get my point. And so I asked the guy how much his was. His was $20 more than the, I don't quote me, but I want to say Flip was at $240. I had $240 in my head for what Flip asked for his, if memory serves. And this guy wanted $260. So Flip really does have good prices. But yeah, the guy had one, and I was looking at it, but I decided not to go. Now, hold on. I need to figure out if this is my boy or not. What's that say? What's it say? Because I have a 58D. I think I see a D here in all this dirt, which would mean this is a throwback. Is that? I see something. Come on. What is that? Right? It wouldn't be a P, because they just wouldn't put one. There's something there. I'm going to say it's a D. Yeah, it's a D. I don't need it. Back to the bin you go. What's this one? 1946. I have... Oh, it's a 46P, too. Okay. And it's slightly better than the one I have, so we're going to change it out. Now, how do you guys do this? Does anybody fill books? Because I'm sure I'm doing all of this. I probably do everything wrong. I'm stacking wrong because I'm buying coins now, and books and sets and all these things. But when you're filling a book, do you just... Because I toss back all the upgrades. It's not like I'm trying to start another book. I'm probably doing that wrong because I'm probably tossing stuff I'm going to have trouble finding later if I ever do start another set or something. But for now, I toss them. And can we talk about... Can somebody please tell me what is going on with this? Hold on. No, not that. This. Hold on. We're getting there. This is pissing me off. Really making me angry. Okay? It's hard for you to see, maybe. Wait. There it is. 2009 P nickel. Why can't I find one? I've been through countless boxes and rolls, and I still have yet to find one. I found a D. Actually, I found more than one 2009 D because I upgraded it at some point to a slightly nicer one. Not even really, and the mintage is right here. I'm not looking, I'm not paying attention, I don't know it well enough. I tossed it back. It's 46.8 million on the D and 39.8 million on the P. I don't know what happened in 2009, but they decided to cut the budget through nickels. And this whole first book, that's the only thing I'm missing currently. And it's upsetting me. Because now, like, I want to just toss all the new stuff, but I can't. I have to go through it and look for that 2009. I know it's low, but I didn't realize how low, right? I figured, like, I'll eventually find one. I haven't yet, and I've been through on these. I'm probably on my like 4.5-ish boxes. It's hard to tell because here lately I haven't been getting whole boxes. I have to take whatever the bank will give me. But yeah, that's upsetting. And then of course the old set. I'm missing the intermediate. Missing a 60. No, wait. I got the 65. It's ugly. But I got a 65 earlier tonight. I'm missing a 72 P. And that's 202,000 roughly on the mintage. So not extremely low. Not the lowest I've seen. But I'm having trouble finding that one for some reason. So 72 is the only one missing out of that book now. And the 65p. If I can find a better one, I will, because the one I have has like paint on it, and it's like your Mad Max coin. It's not pretty. But yeah, 2009 is eluding me, and that's why I'm sure at some point on some rare stuff, you just gotta bite the bullet and go on eBay. See if you can find your coin, right, to fill your book. Or watch the auctions and see if somebody magically offers one up. It just is what it is. Now, to get back to it, because Ray said something after Jason, and I feel like I passed it up. Ray said the local coin shop here, and that's, I'm assuming, down there in Texas, the guy got angry when he added up junk silver, and I wanted to remove some equal to the amount of cash I had. He said, I'm not going to sell it. He was a fat grumpy old man. That's okay. So basically, that's like the cashier in the exact change. Like you want $1 back, which none of us would do. But basically, you kind of pulled that on him. And he's like throwing stuff on the counter, and you're like, whoa, wait. I only have $36 cash, so we gotta make sure this is only $36 cash, and he refused to sell to you because of that? That's crazy. 1963. Not my 65. But it's just weird the way it goes. I may still have 2 to 3 rolls of 2009s. Well, Ray, check and see if you do. If you do, send me an email. I'll probably want to buy one if it's a P, just so I can fill this book and be done with it. Because the older stuff and the war nickels is going to be rough. I could always bust out that capital set that I just got and fill the book. I would come really close to filling the book with my war nickels, but we know how those are. That's just the stuff you get, so there's no guarantee that they're all there. But I could do that if I really wanted to, but I'm kind of upset because I haven't been getting a lot of coins from my bank. Well, I've been traveling, I can't say that, but like even when I stopped in today, they didn't really have any whole boxes of anything for me, and said it would probably be next week before they get any whole boxes for me. It happens, but I know before like the Christmas kind of break, I'm gonna need to get a couple of boxes. Oh, and then I pulled a trick. Okay, so I had a bunch of stuff, right? Coin boxes. Still here at this house, even when I was traveling. And then when I got back, I finished rolling them up and doing all that. And so then I'm like, I gotta take these back. And I won't lie to you guys. In most cases, I just take them back to my same bank if I'm running short on time. But I was like, okay, the one bank that gave me a hard time about getting change, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go dump them there because I had a decent amount. I had over $100 in pennies, partial box of dimes, partial box of nickels, some other stuff, quarters. So I had all this stuff. I'm like, I'm going to go there, the ones that don't like me. I'm going to inconvenience them a little bit. And so I came in, I interacted with the teller. I brought in some. I had some dollar coins and some other stuff, the quarters, the nickels. So I set those up and we're talking and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to make a deposit, I guess. And I have, I have coins. I have more coins. I got to go get them. Blah, blah, blah. So I said, here's my ID and stuff and I'll be back. And she's like, okay. By the time I got back, she had switched me to somebody else, which I mildly thought was like, why? But so then I moved everything down the counter and did all the things. And so then I'm going over all this with her, and she's counting it, and she's kind of asking, okay, well, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm depositing my coins. Like, I hung coins and stuff. And she goes, oh, yeah, didn't you ask about those before? And I said, yeah, you guys never really can get me coins, or at least, you never really have coins for me, so I figured I will bring them here, and give them to you guys when I'm done with them. That way you don't have to worry about coins. And she was like, oh, well, I mean, if you want, like, oh, when I'm dumping boxes on your counter, they got real complacent real quick about switching me up for boxes. She was looking to see what she had that she could give me because she didn't want to probably, carry all this stuff or whatnot. But their tune changed real quick when they realized that I was going to start dumping at their bank. All of a sudden, she was offering me not whole boxes of quarters and stuff, but she's like, yeah, I got this much in quarters, I got this much in this. I said, just right now, you got a box of pennies down there? Let me have the box of pennies. We'll start there. And so I took the box, but when they realized that I was thinking of dumping at their bank on a semi-regular basis, their tune changed a little bit, and they got more like, oh no, well, we can get you coins, like, we have this and we have that. Well, that's funny because the last couple times you treated me like a leper coming in here asking for, change. But yeah, it is what it is. This feels like a brand new roll. And it is. But there's that new smoking doobie error, whatever. So I have to look at them. I actually have 5 bank wrap rolls over here of new 2022s that I threw a Hail Mary, and I listed them on eBay because everybody is looking for that smoking Joe or whatever they call that new error where he's got basically like some kind of dye chip or something right by his mouth and it looks like he's smoking something. And they're, at least right now, they're going for decent money for a nickel. It's pretty expensive. So in my normal rolls, I'll break these open. I think I have some more down here too, which is, if I can count, and I think I have 5, but that's with the bank wrapped rolls, that's always kind of iffy. You got to really look. Because I'd hate to have like really shiny 2022 enders to sell these on eBay and then somebody come back at me and go, man, I busted open one of those rolls and it was like mixed. That would be the bad thing. But like on these, they're wrapped by that specific bank. These guys, the Mint, whoever does this, it's the same bank, the NF String and Son in Harrisburg, PA. That's who wrapped this. So if I'm calling that a mint wrapped roll, I'm also calling this a mint wrapped roll. And it's obviously on both ends brand new nickels. My problem is, oh shoot, these do say it. I didn't think these said it. Hold on, I do got another 5. I have to change that eBay listing. Yeah, these are. I guess these are brand new rolls. So there's another 5. I listed it on my eBay just to see. Because if other people are looking for those errors, they can look. I'll look too. I already been through these. But I'm not looking too hard. I don't have that kind of time. I'm looking to more collect, and I know that going through brand new rolls really has no other value, and you'd have to get like an entire box of brand news just to even really have a chance at finding something like that. So I'm not too worried about it. If I come across it, it'll be great, but I'm not searching for it. So I have these rolls now, and I've listed them on eBay, so if somebody wants to purchase them and take their luck, they can. And it's 5 rolls. I think I listed it for, that's what, $10? So I think I listed it for like 12 or 13. I didn't gouge too much. I didn't try to go crazy. I also listed this Andrew Jackson roll. I don't think there's maybe a whole lot of errors or anything, but the ones inside here should be in relatively good shape. If somebody wants to grade them or is looking for a BU set, whatever have you. Jason, I kind of figured when you start talking about, the 55 double die and things like that, I know that you have a strong numismatic side. So you say you love filling books and hunting, and I completely believe you. I keep everything from the 50s and earlier. I think that's probably fair to say with me, except for like the copper pennies that don't look, great. If they're bad Wheaties, I'll throw them in the bag. If they're like, destroyed, or they have so much corrosion on them or whatever have you. But I will say, yeah, I mean, dimes, obviously you do because they're silver, but I keep a lot of that in my junk. I don't, we found my son's dime the other day on his birthday. I put that in a flip and I gave it to him. It'll get kept, but not in that way. So, I mean, I get you though. Yeah, if I found anything old, yeah, older than probably the 50s, yeah, I'm keeping it. I mean, at that point, you're either talking silver or it's got some, numismatic value, even the nickels. I found a really nice, where is she? What did I do with that? Oh, it's over here. I tried to show this earlier on Key's stream because I was looking through nickels before I went up. And again, the light, I hate this when I gotta flip, but I know it's hard to look at and the camera doesn't do it justice. But this thing, it's a 64 and it is just full luster. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, we can zoom in. I want to see these steps actually because I didn't really look at them yet. And again, the glare's gonna... What do the steps look like? I see steps. I don't know if I see all of them, but I see them. Come on, light. Try to angle it a bit. Turn the light down a bit. Focus. Come on, you piece. There. Little better. Yeah, I don't think we have full steps. They're steps, but I don't think they're all there. And again, the glare, because of the flip, is killing it. But it's in great shape, and the fact that you can still pull these out of bank rolls like this is, to me, surprising, you know, and it doesn't happen every day. So even something like this, I don't know what it's worth. I haven't looked it up yet, but you know, it's worth more than a nickel to somebody somewhere. I had a couple of really nice ones, not that nice, but I had a couple of really nice ones. I had a couple of really nice ones, and I wasn't thinking too much about setting them to the side, and I put them in the book, or I upgraded. So I'm not going for the BU set or anything, but you know, I have a couple of decently nice ones in the book, but mostly on the book, I'm just looking for fillers. I'm not trying to put together a great set or anything. It's just, you know, mostly whatever I find. But I will warn everybody, I am keeping all the Westward nickels I find. I mean, unless they are just dogged out and horrible, I keep them. I keep all the Lincoln commemorative pennies I find, except for that proof set that I sold over the weekend, which I think that went to, if memory serves me, I want to say that went to Mark Thomas. He's going to be really happy with those. I keep all that stuff because it's a one-off. I don't care what the mintage is. It's more rare than everything else in this bin. For sure. Because these are, yeah, they're years and maybe their mintage is slightly lower, but this is special. And no, they may not be great and they may not be whatever, but one day I'll have a pile of them and maybe they'll be worth $0.25 each. I don't know. But, oh, that guy? Hey, Mark. How you doing? It's good to see you, sir. Thank you for chiming in. But yeah, I keep all that stuff. Oh, and I looked it up because in the grab bag that I got from Crown Point, here it is. See, I told you, I just got piles of stuff everywhere. And then, like a shop, I put it into my set. Oh, here's the flips. These are those Columbian Expos in the flips, right? They're identical, except for the fact that they're not. It's the same thing, same printing. I think we can agree. The inside doesn't have much, but it's got some type. Here's what's weird. The print's different. Same words, same everything. Print's different. And then the back is different. Like, it's the same thing, same coin, same everything, but the wording's different. So I don't know what happened there. But these are $15, $20 coins. They're circulated, they got the wear, you know, they're nowhere near MS. But this, let's get to the crux of the issue. I got this in my grab bag, number one. Let's see if we can get this up. There we go. Come on, magnet. I think I need a slightly stronger magnet or thinner plastic on this thing. But, you see here, we'll go to the big can. Not that it matters too much, but the Louisiana Purchase quarter set, little flip thing, 2004 P&D, yay. They're in really good shape too, so I'm not complaining about that. Oh, God, I gotta hit this transition. I guess I'm just used to not being in studio mode. I'm gonna take that off for now. But, so they're in really good shape, you know, considering the holder's not, but you know how it goes. But this tripped me out. And I think I mentioned this somewhere to somebody on either a previous live stream or something. It says the Westward Journey Final Nickel, and I could have swore somewhere on here it said like Return to Monticello or something, but apparently I'm wrong. But they claim it is. Now, I looked up. Oh, we'll go over. I'm probably still on PCGS. No, I'm not. Okay. Da, 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 da. Let's see if we can find this. Nope. Can't type. Can we find it? No? Oh, no. Okay, so we'll have to go back. So we're going to go to Nichols. Jefferson Nickel. Scroll all the way down to the 2000s. So here we go. There we go. How's that? Are we good? What in the world? Yeah, I still got my microphone on. Now it's live, right? You can hear me? These are the worst live streams ever. Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah, the whole thing kind of, it froze everything there for a second. But, we'll go back to the display. The return to Monticello is listed here, but it's not in the West. I don't know what, I'm confused. Is this part of the set, or is it not? Because it's called Type 3 Westward Journey, then Type 4 Return to Monticello. I think that's the new face on the coins for, officially or whatever. I don't know if that is officially a part of this set, because I will tell you, if I can go back over here, was there somebody to report? I don't recall. Is that part of the set? I don't know, but I'm not saving the 2006s. I'm only saving the 2004s, the Louisiana Purchase, the Keelboat, the Bison, the Westward Journey. I'm not saving 2006s. So that, to me, go back to Maine. That, to me, seems like an issue. Because either way, I feel like this is an inaccurate description. Is it working now? Now is it working? No audio. Again, what the? Boom. Done. Now? Better? No? I don't know what's wrong with this mic. That should be audio. Okay, now I'm back. Jesus. I don't know. Maybe it's this mic. Or it's the fact that I have 3 cameras, a USB speaker, and like 5 other things, and a microphone, and I have a bunch of. What? Okay. Now we should be good. I don't think I have a delay. I switched to the microphone that's on one of my webcams that's built in. This one up here. I like the sound is probably better out of the dedicated mic, but if we're having that many problems, it's not worth it. So anyway, I appreciate all 11 of you hanging out in here. Just sent you an email. Uh-oh, he sent me an email. I might have something. And Ray's going to check on this 2009s. Sometimes you just got to break down and buy the coin you want. I'm sure it happens to a lot of people. And now I have to start saving 2006 nickels because they look identical, but they're special. Well, let's look. We'll go back to PCGS in a second. And I want to see if they're truly... I would be pissed if that was a 72 because it's all beat up as hell. It's a 73. I was about to be real mad if I found the coin that I needed, but it looked like a road nickel. Let's look. I want to go back to PCGS, and I want to look at these. Okay, so... yeah, see, there's something weird going on there because the return to... why are there 4 listed? I don't get that. Is that different? That's weird. Is it like proof and non-proof? So here's the Monticello regular strike. Okay. Mintage 809 million. Okay. Then there's these. That's regular, so what's this going to be? Regular. That's an MS66. Hold on. Can we talk about this? Guys, can we talk about this? This is an MS66. I'm not talking about the obverse, but look at the reverse. What in the hell is that? Do you see that? Look, MS66. This one doesn't have it at all, and it's an AU55. Now, granted, I get the wear thing, but why does the 66 have this skid mark on it? What? What? That's okay, whatever. But 693,000. Okay, so those are the regular strikes. What are these? The proofs? Monticello FS. What the hell does that mean? What's the difference? I can't see the chat right now, so if I'm ignoring something simple, FS full steps? What? Because that's what usually the FS means, right? On the nickels. So Okay, yeah. So that's full steps. But that's, oh, well, they don't have steps. Okay, so a Monticello mint state and a Monticello full steps. Okay. It's still an MS63. It's only $3. These are worth way more. I don't know. I don't know if it's in the set or not. I'm still torn. But that's weird. That's very strange. Oh, hold on. Let me. There. Much better. Full steps. Yeah. Skidmark 66. Yeah. Did you see it? No, I get the full steps, but I was saying there's the way that the listings are. I was trying to figure out if there was something special about that coin because there's nothing special about it. I don't see why it should even be included in the set of the Westward Journey. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's not special. But I will begin to keep the 2006s that I find because apparently everyone else that puts together the Westward sets is wrong, and I've not really seen any that include the 2006 in that set. And probably for good reason, because it's just another nickel. There's nothing special about it. Oh, American Eagle Hoarder. How am I saying it wrong? Am I supposed to say it with a French accent, or... Let me look at that again. Monticello? Is that better? Is it Monticello? Is that how we like to pronounce it? Because I'm from an area where we pronounce things how they look. Whether we sound stupid or not, or at least I do. That's how I was. Yeah, maybe it's Monticello. Cello? Cello? I don't know. American Eagle Hoarder's upset at me. That's all I need now. Now I'm not going to be able to sleep. Thanks. Appreciate it. But yeah, like, maybe it was like it's Italian? Okay, I'll buy that for a nickel. I will have to remember that so I don't anger the masses. Thank you for being the only one who could actually... Oh, there we go, right there. Ooh, look. We just found our first special quarter, 2006. We're going to put that over here in the special pile, even though it's not special. And right behind it, a Louisiana Purchase. I found one earlier. Not that 64. Where did I put that? I flipped it. It's a, yeah, Louisiana Purchase. And it looks like it came out of like somewhere. Some hole somewhere. It's got luster all over it. You know, for a nickel, it's got a little bit of that smoke toning starting. And it's really nice. So that got flipped up. It's not often that you really find the super nice coins like that where you kind of question, like, how did you get here? You know, what was your journey like to end up in this role because you got through it unscathed? American Eagle Hoarder is upset. Cello. Monticello. I'm sorry. I'm not learned, okay? I just found out what $1 was last week. Give me a break. So, yeah, it's been a rough week, and work is kind of crazy. I'm surprised I've had as much time as I've been able to find to do coin roll hunts and things. Because if anyone knows about right about now is peak season for like retail and shopping. And so that means I'm basically on 24/7 or close to it. There's a Westward. I always call this the The Ocean View, because that's what it says, but it's called like Western View. There's another one. Look at that. We're making sets. I'm going to start giving these things away, whether people want them or not. Every giveaway, you're getting 4 nickels. I don't care if you have 5 sets of them, you're getting one. That's how we're going to run it. Well, yeah, Mark Thomas. Yeah, I figure it's a lamination error, but ooh, there's a 1941. We're going to check our book and see if we need it. But I watched a PCGS video on YouTube on grading, and therefore I'm an expert. No. But in that video, the guy running it from PCGS states if there's a lamination error, they will not grade the coin because there's a chance that the lamination error could continue to peel, come apart, come off, even in the holder, and therefore they're putting their name on the grade, right? PCGS is saying this coin in this holder is this grade. If there's a chance that once they encapsulate that and nothing damages the capsule, the coin could change, right? Like the lamination peel off. That's why he said in there they won't grade it, because if there's a chance of that, they will not grade it. So, based on my limited knowledge, they've claimed that they will not grade those coins. So I'm curious as to how there's an MS66 with a lamination error. And I'm sure there's some loophole or some, I don't know, reason why that is. But based on my YouTube degree that I have in grading, it should not exist, you know? I don't know. But that is weird, though. Just, I mean, because, come on. Who submitted that? Because I want him to submit all of my coins. Because if they're going to overlook that on an MS66, I want him to put everything in for me so I could reap whatever benefits and good vibes he has, because that's crazy. I don't think any of us would even send something like that in hoping for A grade, let alone MS66. That's weird. So we're going to check that 41 in a minute. Oh, that's interesting. It's got damage, like some kind of, obviously PMD, but like it sliced right through Liberty and the date. And then on the back, it like wore the top of the coin. I don't know where that got damaged, but it's always interesting, I think, to look at some of the damage. Here's another one. It's a bison. No spear. Although, that spear, if you look at it, you really look at it, that's a really light thing. So here's my plan. I save all the buffaloes I find. Right? And all the others too. But I save all those. You got, for 2021, you got nice color. That's always upsetting. There's ooh, you're pretty. Here's another really nice Louisiana Purchase. I mean, again, it's it depends on how you feel, but it's in really good shape. Lots of luster. We'll set him to the side in a really nice pile. Shit, where was I going? Forget where I was going with that previous statement. I got distracted by the shiny. And another one. Oh, I pick all the buffaloes out. Right, buffaloes. And I'm putting them all away, all together, except the really nice ones. And so I will go back through them periodically and look. And I know that seems counterproductive, but I ain't got nothing else to do anyway. Because it's real fake. Like the speared buffalo thing is, I mean, without it, even with one of these scopes, it's still like hard to. It's a very thin line that goes through the buffalo. It's not raised very much. It's none of that. At least none of the ones I've seen. I'm sure it varies to some degree, but I've never seen one that you could really spot probably with the naked eye very easily. You kind of have to examine it. It's also like the Sally Ride. I thought I had one of these the other day. They call it like the Comet Error. Apparently, it's some kind of like strike through, I'm guessing, but not like, I don't know. It's not really apparent, but it kind of makes that the fields behind her, like on each side of her head, kind of look like supposedly like there's a comet shooting through the sky or something. It kind of gives the metal like a swirled design to it. And so those are kind of hard because I swore the other day I had one, and then I looked at one, and it looks similar, sort of, but didn't, and so I just chalked it up to I'm probably crazy and tossed it to the side because some of those errors are getting to the point to where, you know, they're very nuanced differences, especially something like that where there's really no surface change and you're talking about like the way the metal looks and shines and the light hits it. At that point, I think you've lost me. I can just tell if a coin looks decent or not. I can't do much of anything else past that. I'm not worth very much. Why is my phone going off at midnight? We're well close to it. Oh, yep. So this is all the coinage I have. I have these few rolls, and that's a new roll. That's a new roll. Got a couple more new rolls. Maybe I'll bust those open and look through them. But this is all I got for the moment. But I was sitting there. I was at work, and I was talking to an old Mexican guy. And it's okay because he's Mexican. But we were talking and kind of, BSing with like the work part was done. And he was talking about his son and like comic books. His son sells comics and stuff. And I said, oh, well, like, does he like sell or get into? There's another 2006 special quarter. When I get fancy and I have all the pop-ups and these special things that all these other streamers do, every time I find a 2006, the bells are going off. There's gonna be confetti. It's gonna be a party for sure because they're special. Remember? Anyhow, we were talking, and he's talking about his son that like buys and sells comic stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I was like, does he ever get into like the silver stuff? And he goes, no, 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 comic books. And I said, yeah, I know, like the silver comic book stuff. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I started showing him, online in different places, some of the different coins and things that are kind of out there. And I was, like these things, I was showing him. And he's like, oh, I don't know. I've never heard of this. And I mean, I've never seen him, talk about or show me anything like this. And I was like, no, but if you're selling something, you might even be able to pair it up. Like, oh, you have a really nice Spider-Man comic that you're trying to offload. Pair it with like a 1-ounce silver Spider-Man and kind of play both sides of the fence. Make it like a package deal, kind of thing. I said, because a lot of those are like display pieces and low mintages and, kind of explain the basics to him. And he had never even heard of it. And then so, which was funny though, because when we got to talking, he knew, there's a keel boat, he knew everything about where the silver was in change. And so I asked him, I was like, oh, well, you know where all the silver is. So, like, are you saving it? And he goes, no, no. Now he's old. He's, I don't want to say very old, but he's definitely old. Um, and so, maybe that time had passed for him and he just wasn't worried about it like some of us are that are going to have to live through whatever happens the next few years. But, yeah, he knew, but he never really thought to, put the bells on. We have another special nickel. It's completely different from the rest. Please don't check my math. And that's good though, because I got work to do. Because I got to find about 200 of those to match all the rest that I've been saving. So I can make sets. I'm making the full, complete Westward Journey set of circulated coins. And I am going to hand them out constantly. Okay, let's check real quick while we got a breather and I'm finishing this beer to see if we need this 41. This book is going to be my downfall because it's still very empty. Not crazy empty, but empty. 41. Shoot. We already got them. And it is a P. Let's examine. I think it's nicer than the one that we have. So we're going to pop it. The other one's kind of browned a bit. Who knows what kind of environmental contaminants we've gotten on our coin. So that one's a little more matching. Man, I did find a 53S yesterday. Just going through coins, flipped one. Oh, it's 53, I'll save it. Looked at the back, I'm like, it's an S. Like, huh. Sometimes you just get lucky. But then like this, I just toss it back because it's not needed in my set. I'm not trying to put together sets. Although, it's, aside from that 2009, it's pretty easy to put together some of the modern books. There's somebody's $50 idea, make a bunch of nickel books and sell them for a couple bucks. But the way they price the books, I mean, these, I think I paid like $6 or $7 for, something like that. Oh, this is the new one. That's not fun. Oh, they're all new. Oh, if I wouldn't have pulled that, I'd have had another 5 rolls. Oh, I do have another 5 rolls. Wait a minute. That's not new. That one might be. This one's not new. Okay, so apparently these guys just roll coins. Because these have it all on there too. And that one was new, but this one for sure isn't. That's confusing. Can we just make it easy? Okay, so I do not have another 5 rolls for eBay. But the good news here is we can speed run these and get through them. Who's trying to bat me? Ringmaster Ray. Flip side, trying to bat me? I don't have anybody here to bat me, but I can come up with a contraption. That would be interesting. I knew, well, I didn't know the guy personally. I knew of a guy who, and I thought this was amazing. He made a program and an interface for a drill to go off when like somebody super chatted, I think, on his live streams, if I remember right. And he would do that, and he had like, I don't know, like a drill bit or like a little fan blade in it. And he would do that. And it worked because he would have to change out the batteries during the live stream that people would super chat so much just to see the drill turn. And it was cool. It was really cool. Obviously, a lot of work on his part, but hopefully financially lucrative in the long run. That's weird. I'm gonna have to pay more attention to my rolls. Yeah. I don't know who this is. NF String and Son. I have to look them up. That's for sure a new one. I don't want that one. I want the old ones. That's new. This one's old, and this one's old for sure. I think those last three are new. I'm almost done. Yeah, it has been a long week. The building of it isn't so bad. Ruler, it's the interface. He did a video on how he did it. He's real popular. And he's super smart, young kid. But it's the coding part. And I know a little bit about coding, enough to be dangerous, but not enough to like do standalone projects. I started learning a few coding languages. Oh, look at that. A bison and a keelboat just fell onto my lap. No spear on the bison. Okay. Oh, what's that? Canadian? It's the first Canadian I've found in these rolls. 2001. And it's a little worse for the wear. But we will take it gladly. Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day. I need a vacation. But the problem is, if I go on vacation, I'm more than likely going to take the kids. And I know this sounds selfish as a parent, but is that really a vacation? So, yeah, I'm going to have to take one soon, though. 78, we don't need you. 91. But, yeah, I took the kids to a Comic-Con in Indiana sometime. God, it's probably been about a year or so now. Yeah, probably around there. Somewhere around a year. Shortly after COVID, things started opening up. Put on the bells and whistles. We just found a special quarter. Problem is, it looks exactly like everything made in the last 15 years or so. Special. Remember that. Yeah, but we went to the Comic-Con. The cool thing on this, though, was I didn't tell them anything. I just said, we're going to go out of state, and we're going to go to this place, and we're going to stay in a really nice hotel. That's all I said. And so they thought that was it until, like, the next morning, and I'm like, oh, we're going to go get breakfast. And you know how breakfast is when you're anywhere near a Comic-Con. There's people in costumes and stuff, and everybody's wearing like anime shirts and superhero shirts, and like we saw people in the elevator that had costumes on when we were going down because we woke up a little later than, we're sleeping in, we're off. So like my daughter started getting these weird looks. She's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. And I kept playing along as much as I could, all the way until the point to where we like walked into the event center. And then my daughter was like, this is the thing. I don't remember, she's at that point, she must have been like, 7 getting ready to turn, no, 8 getting ready to turn 9. Yeah, that's probably right. And so she's a little younger than she is now, and she's like, this is a thing. I forget what it's called, but I think this is a thing. What are you talking about? I'm like trying to get her to explain it. She's like, where all the people go and there's stuff. There's stuff for the cartoon and anime people. And I'm like, okay. But no, they had a blast and they loved it. 58. We'll check on that one. I don't specifically remember needing it, but there's a lot of holes in that book. Why do I have this 77 set to the side? Maybe because I think it looks nice? And what are you? A really nice 70D? Huh. I got one more roll of new, and I got 3 odd rolls of, or one more roll of old, and 3 odd rolls of new. Older yet in 17 more minutes. Yeah. Wait, does that mean it's your birthday? It's not my birthday. Whose birthday is it? Is it Ruler's? Did I miss that? I need to see a beach on my next trip. Florida's nice sometimes. I went in October, and I was pleasantly surprised by how nice the weather was. You know, coming from the Midwest, October's basically your last hurrah before hell freezes over. And going down there in October was amazing. You're still swimming. You're still walking around in shorts. It doesn't register in my mind that people can live like that. It's just crazy. Ruler's birthday in 17 minutes away. Oh, well, in that case, the bells and whistles are not just for this special quarter or nickel that I just found. It's also going to be your birthday. So we at least have to make it that long. And Ruler, if you send me your address, I can send you what you've already won. There's a 66S one. Oh, I still got my Canadian over here. The other bad part about hunting is like the next day when I have to deal with all the coins all over my desk. Eventually. Not right away, but eventually. Is that... What am I seeing here? What's going on with his... What is that? Hold on. Stop the presses. I'm confused. Is that some kind of damage? What's going on here? It's raised off his ponytail. The 66, the mint mark should be on the front, right? I don't think so, Ruler. I don't know. I don't recall. I'm not going to pull up my email on stream, but I remember I was shipping out shortly after that, and I was going through emails, and for some reason I didn't think I found it. So maybe you didn't, or I'll check again. I will check again, but no, for sure it's right here still. It's the barber dime and a bunch of really nice pennies. Yeah. But we will add to it since it's your birthday, and also you're not the only one waiting. I think on giveaways, I'm going to try to wait a little bit on the actual shipping, so that I'm not shipping constantly. Oh, and since there's a bunch of you in here, well, this would have been better to say earlier when I had like 10 or 13 people in here. Some, not all of you. Mark, you're good if you're still in here. And somebody else. But Jason, Silver Wishes, and a couple of the other people that bought stuff from me over the weekend. USPS didn't like my original packaging. Maybe it was too small. I don't know. But they returned a bunch of the pack. So what happened was I mailed them out, and then I left town for work. And then I got back yesterday evening, and all my packages, well, not all, but most of my packages were back here. And the person sitting in my house was like, yeah, they brought these. Like, you're always getting packages. I assumed they're for you. And I'm like, no, these are mine. These were supposed to go out. I still have no idea exactly why, but maybe there's like a minimum package size or something. I don't know. So I put them into another bigger envelope, canceled the labels, made new ones, and shipped them back out that same day that I got back yesterday. So they're back out. So if you got 2 emails for tracking on me from Pirate Ship, it's the second one because the first one got canceled. That being said, happy birthday, Ruler. We'll double check that email thing, but if not, ping me again, just in case you didn't, and it'll be at the top of my inbox. But now, let's focus on this nickel, because this is weird. That's an S, right? That's like a die crack on the S. Here's a 58. So this is the same generation, but it doesn't have a mint mark. Here's a 77. It's not exactly the same generation, but it's about a decade apart. Move over. Okay, so that's clearly a mint mark, and there's not really anything else supposed to be there but his ponytail. What is that? That's a die crack. Huh. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see if we can get in a little more on it. I know I look stupid probably on camera during this. I'm like staring at the screen all weird, but okay. Looking for, what's that? Is that another one on the rim? Is that another one right there? Bottom of his, I don't know. That might not be. No. No, my 58's got that. Okay. And then what about the back? What's going on in the back? Oh, lots of wear. Interesting. Very interesting. Huh. That's got to be something. So we'll set that aside. Pull this up a bit. And go back to our change. So, in 9 minutes, what's your email address? I found the email in my drafts and didn't have your address the next day when ready. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's easy to fix. Hold on. Go over to YouTube and I'll find my own live stream and jump in it and I'll comment. So, in 9, there we go. Yep, that's it. There you go, Ruler. Sorry about that. Have a good night, Flip Side. I appreciate you hanging out more than you know. Definitely more than you know. And I hope that you rest well. Oh, there's another special nickel. That's cool. At least these special nickels are going to add up quickly. I was kind of worried. Because none of the sets, 75, I don't need that. None of the sets that I've seen for the Westward Journey include the 2006. That's why it's weird. I need a 2009 now to fill this book. Or I'm going to buy rolls off Ray to fill it, which I don't mind that, but it'd be better to find it myself. So we'll make it to Ruler's birthday for sure. That's my 58. That's my special one. Okay. You guys can go in there. Oh, there's a decent 1980. We'll get Ruler something for his birthday. And then we'll do another small giveaway. And, you know, I should have done it earlier while everybody was here, but I was focused on coins and yammering. 2020. So it gets hard. And I understand that. When I'm looking at coins and I'm not looking at the screen or the chat, it's a rough live stream. But at least looking at coins gives me an excuse to ignore the chat. Unlike what? There's something all over this thing, and I can't see the date. It's one of the new ones. I don't think it's anything. 93. Oh, the bucket's getting full. And I found a lot of these, the commemoratives, the Westward Journeys, in these rolls. Like, a lot. A 73, darn it. I need the 72. Probably double what I think I usually find. So, a decent amount. What are we checking? The 58. That'll be in here. 58. We need a regular 58. Oh, but it's a 58D. I don't think it's nicer than the one we got. We'll throw it back. What are some of the other ones we have here? 77, not in this book. And the 70, not in this book. What are you? Why do you look weird? 57. P. No. It's all antiqued up and weird. No. Don't need that one either. I think that concludes. Well, I can look up those two in the 70 book. It's a fun game. Hello, Kendall. Thank you for stopping by. 70D. Is it an upgrade? No. And 77D. No. Awesome. Cool. Well, I found a Canadian. Yeah, the Canadian, she's beat up. And it's only a 2001, but it'll go into my Canadian sense. You know what's funny? I was watching a Canadian coin roll hunter the other day, just by happenstance. I didn't even realize at first until he's just going through, and it's, you know, the coins are like, I look and I'm like, oh, those are Canadian. But he was like, oh, we found something. And like he's going through, and it was like a, you know, Jefferson nickel, I don't know what year, 60s or something. He's like, we found something, and it struck me as funny that they're up there doing what we do when they find like Canadians or they find U.S. coins. They're like, oh, cool, we got something. When like all it would take is to just mail a couple rolls and we'd have a whole bunch of something. But I get it. To find them in a roll is a little different, but it's just kind of the irony there that they're finding occasionally our coins and we're finding occasionally their coins. Maybe we should just have one currency, but I don't trust anyone enough to put anybody in charge of all that. I don't trust the people in charge of the money now. That's why we buy silver and silver coins and poured silver pieces and American silver eagles and slabbed silver and clad slabs and all the things that we buy to try to offset what's kind of going to happen financially over time. The whole argument about what you could spend a silver quarter for back in the day when it was in circulation versus now, I mean, it still holds true. You could get a gallon of gas for a silver quarter. Today, that silver quarter is in most places, California omitted, New York probably omitted, is still going to get you a gallon of gas or very close to it. Yeah, it'd be now. See, that'd be really cool. I mean, I don't. We're not gonna get like a whole bunch, but what did I find? I found a South African rand. That was pretty cool. I found those two Polish coins, and that made sense in hindsight because I found the Sarah. Sorry, Sarah found the one in pennies, the 20 rand, I think, or it wasn't a rand. Ghazi. She found that in pennies, and then later I was going through the nickels because she only cares about going through pennies because separating the copper and everything, you have more stuff to pull. I think that's what gets her into it is like the activity. But anyway, and then when I was going through the nickels, I found the 50 Grossi or whatever. I think it's 50, and so those came from the same lot of coins. Very odd that I ended up with both of the foreign coins, but still kind of cool. And world coins, most of them don't have like a whole lot of value unless you're talking about something old, something silver, you know. So, it's nice though to find something to throw into the world coin book. Which, speaking of which, do I have that out here? I think I do. Thought I did. I do. So, these are cheap. I have them in the description of every one of my videos. I discovered these a while back. And they're really nice because they have these little sheeted pockets. Now, is the book going to hold up over time? If it doesn't get a lot of use, I think, yeah. So for like kind of storage, yeah, it works. But the cool thing is the first few pages have like these small pockets. And then as you get towards the back, they get larger. So when I bought a bunch of English and Australian and Mexican like large pennies, the big copper ones, from a coin dealer. And just like a bunch. He had like a whole little bit of them. I was like, well, how much? He's like, I don't know, 4 for $1 or something. I was like, okay, give them to me. It wasn't like a whole bunch. But, and then I took one of these and darn near filled the whole thing with coins. And so I like these a lot. And especially for stuff like this, like world coin stuff, you know, you're not going to be flipping through a whole lot. It's cool to just throw them in here and you don't really have to worry about them much. And pennies and dimes and nickels, you can find a spot for pretty much all of them, and even some of the bigger coins you find, and put them in like that. We don't get a lot of foreign coins in the halves, though. Oh, ruler. Happy birthday. I don't know how old you're turning, but congratulations on making it this far. I think most of us need to pat ourselves on the back for making it through days, let alone a whole year, to gain another year onto our age. So congratulations. For that, I want to do something special because you have been super supportive. Let me think. You already got a barber and some pennies from the last giveaway, and that's cool. I tell you what. I don't know where it went. I got stuff flying everywhere. Slabs and coins and what is that? Oh, that's my Columbian Expo. Yeah, probably don't lose that. the heck did it go? Alright, we'll do this. I'll try to keep it easy. Alright. Ruler, happy birthday. I genuinely mean that. There's not some kind of ploy or anything to gain your favor. But this is a mint-wrapped 1964 Kennedy. Now, the mint wrapper's seen better days, and so I'm assuming that the coin is, while technically uncirculated, probably wouldn't get that grade. But it's going into your pack. So, when we do get the address thing figured out, nice, shiny, not toned up, no nothing. I'm not going to say the plastic hasn't been slightly compromised, but the coin's relatively unscathed. So, mint wrapped 64 90%er is going to you, sir. Happy birthday. That's the least I could do for all the support. So, that'll be going to you. And then, we're trying to get these giveaways to be a little better. We're trying. I mean, I got stuff. That's not ever the problem. But sometimes it's, hard to part with stuff. So, to try to run through this, we will give away a quarter this time. And they're both 62. And this one looks better, so we'll put that one back. So, I really need to get a better giveaway system, but we'll do it like this. I got scrap sheets of paper over here. I will grab one. I'll write something down. Hide from the camera. Let me think. Musicians got real hairy last time we tried to do that. Okay, well, we're going to do animals at the zoo. So I feel like that keeps us kind of open, but we'll try to keep it relatively simple. Okay. I have wrote down the answer. So, begin to guess animals at the zoo for the giveaway of this quarter. Don't get distracted by looking at the quarter. Now is the time to guess. Animals at the zoo. Oh, that's clever, Ruler. We might use that next time. But I've seen those go and go and go a couple times, like a couple rounds. Of course, Siren has to take the time to include emojis with hers. No. Oh my God. Okay, I think we already have a winner. Slow down the chat. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I know my writing it's a fine tip pen and I was writing fast. Monkeys or momkeys, whatever. Monkeys. So Ruler got it. So not only is he on his birthday getting a mint state, quote unquote, mint wrapped 64 Kennedy, he's also getting a 1962 90% Washington quarter on top of his Barber Dime and his other stuff that he hasn't received yet. So, That's a nice birthday. You got it. I'm telling. I wrote it down. It's not like I'm cheating. So you got it, man. You got a nice little stack of stuff coming to you. And see, there we go. Um, also, if and when I've decided this, if and when in the future I ever do venture on to doing my own auctions, which I've not decided that I will. I'm just saying if I ever do, because I have gone on other people's platforms and sold stuff before. So if I ever do auctions on my own, what I'm probably going to do is you will have the option within reason, unless it's like a big item, right? I think we all know what common sense is. But if it's within reason and you buy something from me, if you don't mind waiting sometime, or if you have, like Ruler already has like a pack waiting from a win that he already has, if I'm waiting to send you something, you already have like free shipping, right? Like we wouldn't, because I'm already sending you something. So I think that's how I'm gonna do it. So that's kind of like a perk, I guess, of like coming in. Like you have shipping costs if you don't already have a pack or a giveaway win coming. And if I can continue to keep up the live streams and things and do them often enough, and they stay relatively small like this, you got a good chance of winning not only something but free shipping maybe on an upcoming auction. So I'll probably do that. Threw in a couple washers. Yeah, so and that's the other thing too. If anybody doesn't know, I actually got a postcard, which was nice. Thank you, by the way. But um when I send stuff out through my pirate ship just for, I don't know, odd purposes, because I don't put my name on it. I don't want to put my channel name on it, right? For obvious reasons too. So I send everything under the label name Aluminum Washers Unlimited. So if you get a weird package and it says Aluminum Washers Unlimited, that's me and that's your stuff. So, yes, it's coming to the right place. I should really. I should, Kendall. I should throw in some washers. Um, and that was very nice, by the way. He actually sent me back a postcard thanking me, which is the first. I've done many giveaways even before on my other channel, and I don't think that's the first time anybody's actually sent me a postcard back, and probably the first time I've gotten a postcard in like over a decade at least, like a real one from a person handwritten. So thank you. That was very nice. Oh God, it's already getting late, and I technically have to work tomorrow. I feel like I'm starting to get sick, but I don't have the kids this weekend. They go to their mom's, so I'm trying to hope that I don't, because this weekend is like get a bunch of stuff done, film a bunch of videos, hopefully, so I can sustain myself over the next few weeks, because I have been lacking on the videos lately, and that's the other thing about my channel is I have to get more videos out. I'm sustaining myself with the shorts and growing my channel, and that's fine. And I like that. But to really like get the meat on the bone, I need to have more videos out. I need to pump up those video views. The one I did on American Eagles for my channel size at the time did extremely well. Um, but as of exactly now, I haven't been able to kind of replicate that or build on that. So I need to work on that. So I got to get some videos filmed. Plus, my editor had some problems. I still have a video um, waiting to be edited that I have to put together because we were having some kind of issue. He edited it, and then when he went to upload it, it would just never upload and sync to our file sharing platform, and so he couldn't get the final product to me. So Well, and I travel, ruler. So I was just up by Chicago, what, twice in the last month. That was windy, rainy, half snowy, cold. And then I just got back from South Bend, and that wasn't too bad, but um, eh, the weather's just not great. So I feel like the more you got to be out in it at any given time, is just not kind of good for you. Plus, up in the edge of Chicago and all that, like they say, Windy City, they are just not kidding. Like the wind is a problem. I see trees that grow like this because I'm sure the wind has just beat them down enough to where they're leaning permanently. And these are big trees. Um, so yeah, it's a thing, and they're not kidding. That being said, if and I plan on doing this too, so I'm gonna try to do twofold for the 8 of you that are in here. It's probably more like 7 because I think I'm watching on the other screen. But I'm going to maybe do the auctions. I'm also going to try to actually get the eBay kind of established. Not that I'm going to be like a buyer and seller. Like I'm not really trying to make, I guess, profit too much. But if I come across something like this, I listed it on eBay. I have one. I forget what the other one is. It's not Andrew Jackson. It's Jefferson, I think. Um, but and I have the Sacagaweas, and I'm gonna keep those. I'll have something in the pocket. But like this, like the banker pulled it up and was like, "Hey, I got another one of these. Do you want it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And so then I thought about it. I looked at what they were going for on eBay, and was like, like holding on to it or making a couple bucks now wouldn't be bad. So I listed it for, I think, what seems like a reasonable price compared to what they've been selling for recently. So I put one up. So I'm going to do that. So if you get the time, go on eBay. I don't know if you can just search. Let me swing over. And it's going to be weird because I'll probably be logged in, but I'm going to try. Okay, so don't type in Just Stack It because it shows some 1970s like muscle magazine with like suave greased up dude on it. Let me see if I can take out the spaces. No, you can't. So I don't know how you would find my store. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you're smarter at eBay than I am, then you can find my store. My user name on there is Just Stack It. So I list stuff, and I have an idea to throw up some of the stuff that I have on there just to kind of build sales and kind of that way people aren't as afraid to buy from me once I have more feedback. Yeah, no, I'll show you. I'll go back, display, boom. Okay, so eBay, if you just type in Just Stack It, it's this dude, Robert Kennedy. Um, yeah, not exactly the legacy I want to be known for, but yeah, that's what comes up as the first listing under Just Stack It, because I guess it's Stack It magazine. There you go. There's a April Fool's prank. Tell somebody a stacker that you got him a subscription to Stack It magazine. Throw some of those at him. Yeah, my OnlyFans page, but it's me stacking silver. People pay to see that, right? Oh, and by the way, I gave the old man that I was talking to when I was in South Bend my co-worker, I guess you would say. I had some 40s and some stuff. I always carry something, usually carry something. And I had something on me, and we were talking about it, and I was showing it to him, and I was like, hey, man, here, take this. Hold on to it. You know, if you see things like that, I showed him the rim. He said he knew, you know, offhand, but that doesn't mean that you know by looking at it. So I gave him something to look at and compare. I said, if you see a coin, an American coin that's edge looks like that, like no copper, keep it. It's silver, you know, da da da. So hopefully he'll do something with that, or at least just hold on to the silver and pass it on. Maybe it'll start somebody else's. But I see these as like seeds, right? I mean, they're gifts for people like Ruler who just win everything in one night. But they're like seeds. If you can give one to somebody, or a 40%er, or a Benji, or a dime, or a nickel, or not nickel, but quarter, you know, you can do that and, you know, give it to somebody and go, hey, you know, don't spend that. It's silver. Like, look it up or look into it or whatever, you know, kind of spark, hopefully, some interest to where they realize, wait a minute, there's a quarter that's worth $5. Like, you know, and then maybe that'll start them on their journey. I see them as seeds, kind of, to try to plant sometimes. Grain patterns generated in the trees that grow in constantly windy areas. Oh, I bet. Oh, that would be interesting. I got a buddy who's a wood worker, but he's in Texas, so I don't think he gets a lot of that. But I will have to see if I can look that up, because I bet that would be stunning, because it's probably fighting the whole time. I'm sure it's like all wavy and abnormal. Anyhow, guys, it is 12:20. It is getting late. I'm gonna wrap this up. Ruler, you have the email now. I'm pretty sure you should have gotten it. So get the email. Send me your address. We'll get that shipped out to you. And if I'm already at it, I will probably send out Henry's and CM silver and gold. And who else? Roadhog still has another one coming too. So if I'm at it, I might as well just send them all. And so we'll do that. Most of those, Roadhog, CM, Silver and Gold, and Henry will probably be coming like envelope, padded paper kind of thing. I try to keep it cheap if I can. But Rulers is definitely coming in a package, because it's quite the little stack there. So, yeah. No problem. No rush. Just as long as you got the email, just hit me up whenever. Like I said, I'm off all weekend, no kids, so I'll have plenty of time to make sure I pack these up and get them out. I do need to get one of those label printers, though, because printing paper and cutting it and taping it on the package is getting to be a pain. So maybe I will invest in one of those sometime in the near future. But until next time, be kind to people out there. I thank everyone for your attendance. Sincerely, I know there were other places and things you could be doing, and you chose to hang out with me through audio problems and bad coin roll hunts and the most amazing normal coin that you ever saw that's part of a collection, apparently. I appreciate it. I sincerely do. So, Ruler, I hope that you have a wonderful birthday today. Call off work. Do whatever. Do nothing. Whatever you feel like doing. Enjoy it. Try to. And I will see everyone on the next one, which probably will not be too long.